Aston Villa and Leeds ready. Nico Raskin transfer, Cerny lighting it up. UEFA threats Rangers walk tightrope as they suffer massive loss of income. £6 million for Benitez and Gerrard's shock return. Want to see these and more Rangers news? Stay until the end. We are the people. Aston Villa and Leeds United are circling like hungry seagulls over a chippy, and the scent they're chasing is none other than Nico Raskin, a player who's become a vital cog in the Rangers engine since arriving from Standard Liège in January 2023, now finding himself the subject of transfer chatter just as uncertainty brews behind the scenes at Ibrox. Let's get something clear. You're in the middle of a full-blown transition. A new ownership structure is knocking at the door. Yes, the 49ers mob from across the pond, while Barry Ferguson holds the reins temporarily after Philippe Clement's departure. A permanent managerial appointment is still pending, leaving the future foggier than a December morning on the Clyde, and in that fog, clubs are lurking. According to reports, Rangers have slapped a £20 million price tag on Raskin's head. The lads put in the work, 39 appearances this season, 2 goals and 6 assists. Not too shabby considering the turbulence around him. There's interest not only from England, where Aston Villa and Leeds are leading the charge, but also from Germany and Italy. You've got a proper queue forming, and they're not coming to Ibrox for the pies. But Raskin isn't the only one being eyed up. Hamza Igamani, another name on the lips of English clubs, with Everton sniffing about, possibly tempted by his dynamism and raw edge. And again, Rangers are looking for another £20 million if he's to go. This is part of the buy and sell model being pushed by Niels Koppen, a structure designed to bring in serious profit and fund future squads. Now, here's the kicker. With no gaffer nailed down and the structure of the club still shifting, is it wise or utterly reckless to be entertaining offers for your best talents like Raskin and Igamani? Or here's a more brutal one. Should Rangers ever be accepting £20 million for players like Raskin when English clubs will gladly throw double that at Celtic's benchwarmers? Vaklav Cerny, take a bow, son. While Celtic players are off disappearing into the shadows of international benches, the Rangers winger has gone and lit it up for Czechia, scoring the opener and setting up the second in a 4-0 thumping of Gibraltar. Cerny once again proved why he's been one of the few sparks in what's been a dismal domestic season for Rangers. 79 minutes of relentless drive, intelligence and flair, and he left the pitch to plaudits from Czechia's press. iSport gave him an 8 out of 10 top rating on the night and called him the best and most active Czech. And just to top it off, SportsCZ hit him with a 1 out of 5. Bear in mind, that's their best rating. They said he was the most diligent and visible member of the national team's offensive. In short, he bossed it. Now, you've seen it yourself all season long. 17 goals and 4 assists in 37 appearances, and those stats don't even begin to capture the impact he's had in light blue. Whether it's been a late equalizer, a bit of magic on the wing, or sheer tenacity, Cerny has delivered time and again. And here's the real meat of it. Wolfsburg loaned him out, and it'll cost you £6.75 million to make the move permanent. If that figure's accurate, it's daylight robbery in Rangers' favour. The Czech lad wants to stay. The crowd love him. And with the 49ers era just about ready to kick off, what better signal of intent than locking down a proven winner like Cerny? If Rangers don't trigger the deal for Cerny at just £6.75 million, while Celtic are out here spending more on players who can't lace his boots, is that not a scandal of the highest order? Rangers are dancing on a knife's edge tonight, and it's not because of anything happening on the pitch. During that commanding Europa League win over Fenerbahce, a group of so-called supporters unfurled a banner that's now dragged Rangers straight into the UEFA spotlight, and not in a good way. The governing body has handed down a fine and a suspended partial stadium closure, meaning if anything similar happens in the next 2 years, Ibrox will be forced to shut part of its doors. The consequences go far beyond a slap on the wrist. Former top referee Keith Hackett has called it out. Plain and simple, if that stadium ban kicks in, it's a massive blow to Rangers' income. European nights at Ibrox aren't just about the football. They're electric, iconic, and vital for the coffers. Losing that atmosphere, losing ticket revenue, losing prestige, that's the sort of self-inflicted damage the club simply can't afford, especially with the 49ers circling and big investment needed to rebuild properly. To their credit, Rangers haven't sat on their hands. The club immediately issued a hard-hitting statement condemning the behavior and followed up by banning those responsible. But let's not kid ourselves. The real damage will be done if it happens again. UEFA won't hesitate next time, and the punishment won't just sting, it'll burn. This isn't about silencing passion, it's about preserving the very stage you want your team to shine on. With games against Hibernian and Athletic Club coming up at Ibrox, the stakes couldn't be higher. The spotlight's on you, and one more misstep could see Ibrox silenced on a European night. That's not just a shame, it's a tragedy. Should a few clowns with a banner be allowed to put the entire club's European future and millions in revenue at risk, while Rangers are trying to build a squad to compete with Celtic and go deep in Europe? Rafa Benitez, a name that once struck fear across Europe, is now being dangled as a potential Rangers boss. But let's not get swept away in the nostalgia. Yes, he's a Champions League winner. Yes, he's managed the likes of Liverpool, Real Madrid, and Chelsea. But let's talk about now, not 20 years ago. His last stint at Celta Vigo, 9 wins in 33 matches, 9. That's not elite form. That's relegation scrapation. And if reports are to be believed, it'll cost around £6 million a year to bring him to Ibrox. £6 million for what? A name? A memory? Let's not forget, this link has only emerged because of the potential 49ers takeover. The second the words American billionaires appear, folks start imagining fantasy football scenarios, but there's not a single shred of evidence that Cavenagh or the 49ers are even considering throwing that kind of cash at a manager who hasn't delivered in years. Meanwhile, Barry Ferguson, our own, one of us, has already given you the moment of the season. A 3-2 win at the Piggery sent Celtic packing with a late Hamza Igamane winner, and he followed it up by taking Rangers past Fenerbahce and into the Europa League quarter-finals. That's not theory, that's results. And all this while firefighting a squad that's still recovering from Clement's dreary, go-through-the-motions tenure. Barry gets it, he feels it, he lives and breathes Ibrox. And if he manages to pull off a shock against Athletic Club and guide Rangers to a semi-final, then you'd have to say he's earned more than just a pat on the back, a 1-year deal minimum. Would spending £6 million a year on Rafa Benitez after everything he hasn't done lately be a bigger waste of money than Celtic's entire January transfer window? Steven Gerrard, a name that still echoes round Ibrox with a mix of pride, passion, and, let's be honest, just a wee bit of betrayal. Let's go back, shall we? He delivered that unbeaten season. 55, stopped the 10, reignited the roar at Ibrox. But then he vanished quicker than a Celtic title bid in March, leaving mid-season for Aston Villa. No farewell, no thanks for everything, just gone. And since then, let's not sugarcoat it. His career's been on a steady slide, struggled in the Premier League and the Saudi adventure. A disaster. Al Ettifaq looked more like Al Exit. Now here we are 3 years on, and the whispers have begun. Steven Gerrard back at Rangers. Mark Guidi reckons Rangers might be Gerrard's best option at this stage, not the other way round. And he's probably right. The Liverpool legend might still carry weight down south, but top jobs are drying up fast when your CV's dotted with stumbles. Meanwhile, the Light Blues are on the brink of a new era under Andrew Cavenagh and the 49ers enterprises, who could be tempted by a big-name return to spark excitement and headlines. But here's the thing, you've already got Barry Ferguson in the dugout. He's not just holding the fort, he's charging into battle and winning. Took out Mourinho, beat Celtic at the Piggery, steered Rangers to the Europa League quarterfinals. And he's got a backroom team packed with Ibrox blood, Billy Dodds, Alan McGregor, Neil McCann. That's Rangers' DNA pulsing through every training session. Gerrard might know the club, but Barry is the club. Should Rangers really hand the keys back to a manager who walked out mid-season, when Barry Ferguson is proving every week he bleeds for the badge and wins for the jersey? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now.